Welcome back, guys. This is the penultimate round at Queensland Raceway for the year, and today is the decider of whether we can keep the first place street class alive or whether we are going down. If today we have to get first place or at least second and first place in the final round, so there's a bit on the line. Car's recently had another alignment best to its ability. Does feel a little bit more dirty, so I know there's a little bit more camber in it, but we're gonna have to find out right now if it's gonna be good. All right, let's get after it. Sitting in my car, about to go out for the third time, about to be called up, and I was having some issues that session. Maybe we saw it, but it felt like my car was going into ICE mode as I was getting into some of these corners, into the heavy braking zone, and that felt really bad. It felt like I couldn't get the car to go around the corner without wanting to freak out on me, and it felt like my brake pedal had zero travel. It felt like the car was just trying to brake for me. So what I think was happening is it was trying to do electronic braking stability. Now in the front, I have insane pads, but in the rear, I have some like kind of shitty pads. I have WinMaxes in the front, but in the rear, I have like some Repco OEM branded type pads. So what I think's happening is it's taking all my braking force and putting it to the rear, but I have such bad pads in the rear that it just keeps on going and going and going and going, and then until I lift on the brakes. I'm also finding that it's catching me even more and more out. Normally, you would think that if you turn traction control off, it wouldn't come in at all. But what I'm finding is that some corners I can upset the computer enough now that it's not happy on the exit of corners or mid corners, and it cuts throttle and starts putting me into weird positions. So I had originally didn't do the pedal dance. If you know about these cars, you know about the pedal dance, because I was under the impression it turned off ABS, and I was trying to retain ABS because I don't trust myself not to just completely flat spot some tires. But apparently it actually leaves ABS on but turns off all the other things. So we've just done the pedal dance, so we're going to go out right now and give it the last shot of the day. Now, so far I've only done a 61 and my PB is a 60.5 roughly. So I'm, you know, chasing Russell, who'll be here in the afternoon. Hopefully it'll be hotter for him. Unfortunately, sorry Russell, but if it's hotter for Russell in the afternoon, we should be okay. But I still need to put down a less than a 61 because Russell's PB is a 59.7. So assuming Russell's a second slower because of the heat, well, I need to put down an actual 67. Doesn't matter what race chrono says, it's what the timing loop says. So I need to pull it together. So let's see if we can make it happen in this one. So as we just discussed, it's going to be interesting to see how pedal dance mode actually works. I'm interested to test it out. On one hand, I think that I feel like the normal traction control mode is fine, but maybe that's because I've been driving around it this whole time. I can feel that it does still catch me out. Like I can still feel there's times where I can upset the computer enough that it just absolutely hates me and still cuts power and traction. Now, I've always been a little worried about the braking, and maybe this is something I should have tested in the second session. Honestly, it's something I should have tested before this track day, but we're here now, and I guess my aversion to testing it, I have to get over it. You know, you don't want to ever put your car into the wall or into the grass because now it's suddenly completely different. But if I want to go faster, I'm going to have to drive this better, because I can't trail brake the car because the car just feels so strange under brakes. Now, I can't tell if that's because I'm trying to drive it harder now and this is just a problem I never had before. I know previously there is times where it has felt really weird under brakes, but not all the time. So maybe I'm just driving it harder than I used to, which I think is okay. I'm getting more and more comfortable with like driving hard on the actual track, you know, rather than just like saying I will and then pulling up and then kind of doing like a 9/10 lap. I feel like I'm definitely hanging the car out a little bit more and trying to drive over it, but I'm struggling with slowing the car down through the corner while maintaining speed. And you would have noticed in the last session, I felt like I was having to instead I was actually having to get my braking done before the corner, almost like a front-wheel drive car type scenario, and that didn't feel too shit hot. So honestly, right now we're just going to see what happens. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know, we've got to give it a shot, because realistically I'm not sure I've got much more time in me. Now, if I come second in street class today, it is not over, because I still have one more track day at the end of the year, the final ultimate showdown, you could call it, to put down a heater faster than Russell's Alpha. But Russell is a great driver. That car's only ever getting faster. It has more power on me, and it's been set up, so it's getting to the point where I might struggle to retain it, and especially when I'm really not spending money on this car at the moment. You know, the only thing I can change is me and settings like this. So we've got tire pressures at 30 degrees hot, which is about where I like to run these RS4s. Nothing left but to just do it, apparently. So let's get after it.
going to chop the shit out of you in that.